So hey guys, in this video I wanted to talk about my top recommendations for earbuds and headphones. I have five recommendations for you guys at different price points. All of them a little bit over $100, some of them like around $300 at most. So $100 to $300 about for all of these. So the first one on the list, right away let's just look at the responses all together. We can see they all have, for the most part, a 10 decibel bass boost. Besides the headphone, the Biodynamic DT990s that have rolled off sub bass, they all have mid bass. They all have an ear gain scoop at around 2.83K, and they all have a bright, open, clear treble. So they all have about in the same ballpark. A warm, boomy bass boost, wide soundstage, transparent mids, and then a bright, open, clear, good treble extension. So they all have these characteristics, but they actually, they're a little bit different tonality-wise than each other, obviously. But we're going to start off with the Audio Hype 2. This thing is the most expensive earbud on the list. We can see it's got a very subwoofery, sub-bass emphasis, a thin mid bass to get rid of mud, extremely transparent mids, a little bit of 5K peak, but that's not the biggest of deals, but it's there, and a little bit of a dip here in the high treble air, but overall very smooth, transparent, intact treble, wide sound stage in the upper mids, ear gain scoop, clean, clear mids with no mud, and then a impactful dynamic subwoofer, punch to it. So let's just go ahead and look at the Audio Hype 2. Again, this is the most expensive earbud, and it comes with foam tips. It comes with all these things. Comes with a nice thick cable. The earbud itself is pretty big. Says, like the Audio Hype 2. So these are big, they're not small earbuds. They fit pretty comfortably, especially if you use them for a little bit. Nice cable. Even comes with a 3.5 millimeter protection thing. Kind of neat, I guess. So these are really good. My only complaint is maybe a little bit of 5K peak. Maybe the treble is not the smoothest and the cleanest. It sounds a little bit like there's holes in it, a tiny bit, a little bit, But, it's really good. Really fun to listen to. Okay, what else do we have here on the list? Let's go ahead to the second one, the SIMGOT EM6Ls. I've been recommending these for the longest time. These have a nice, rumbly sub bass, a nice warm engulfing mid bass, extremely transparent mids, nice upper mid ear gain scoop for a wide soundstage, and really good bright open clear treble extension. They may be slightly rolled off, so not as sparkly as possible, but it's got a nice open clear treble bubble. It's got all the treble intact. Very nice. This thing is what I've been recommending for the longest time, and this is what they look like. They're pretty small, made of plastic. This has an upgraded cable, because I feel, they're so good they deserve an upgraded cable. The cable they come with is kind of wiry and kind of crappy, but very good, very good. One of the cheaper ones on the list here. So next we have the Biodynamic DT990s with worn ear pads. These are, the headphones that I use. These are the most transparent headphones I've ever found. We can see they roll off the sub bass a little bit because they are open back headphones. They have a nice warm, boomy mid bass and mids, very transparent all the way through the upper mids. Extremely transparent, bright, open, clear, sparkly in the treble, a little bit of shimmer in the highs. This is just, I mean, I'm shocked just by looking at this. Again, they roll off the sub bass a little bit because it's open back, but you just do not see this kind of quality in a headphone. This is the world's best headphone. There's no other headphones to recommend, to be honest. It's just ridiculous. So again, they have grills. They leak out the sub bass, but it helps with the overall tonality of the rest of the frequencies to have an open back. That's the benefit of an open back. It just sounds more transparent that way in the rest of the frequency response, but it just doesn't have that deep rumble that you expect from closed back headphones or isolated earbuds. If these earbuds, you don't have a perfect seal, maybe they're coming out of your ear a little bit, all the sub bass is going to be gone as well. So sub bass is more about isolation and trapping in that bass, So what is next on the list? We have the SIMGOT EA 500 LMs. These are kind of something that I've been kind of flip-flopping back and forth on, kind of also with the The Audio hype too. We see it has perfect bass on my target, mid bass, sub bass, perfect mids. I mean, the upper mids, wow, this is perfect. And then we get into the treble, and this is where it kind of starts to, it's got this 5.5K lump, this 8K peak, and then this 15K peak. So when you trace over it, you can see the lump, the peak. So not the smoothest treble, but it's a little bit shouty here and here, and then a bit shimmery and bright and sparkly, which is fine. But this is really good as well, obviously. Fits my target really well. So we can go ahead and look at this. So again, the EA 500 LMs are really neat. This is the stock cable. You can kind of see how rubbery and thin it looks and wiry. But we see these are made out of metal, which is really cool. It says EA 500 LM. That's probably the coolest thing about these. These are actually made out of metal. They have different nozzles that you can put on them to change the sound. I recommend just leaving it stock with the bronze tips. There's like a Harman treble roll-off nozzle that you can put on. I don't care for it too much, and it smooths out the highs a little bit. And again, we can see I have a adapter to it, the 3.5 millimeter adapter to 1/4 TRS to connect to my audio interface attached to that. So really good. Let's go back, and so this is really good. Again, we can kind of compare it to the Biodynamic DT990s and see they have a very similar response as well, with the sparkle and the air frequencies, the treble and air extension emphasis. And then last but not least, we have the Samsung Galaxy Buds Pros. These, depending on the measurements you look at, they look a little bit different, but these are very, subwoofery, rumbly, nice warm mids and mid bass. Ear gain scoop at 3K, bright, open, clear, good treble extension. Depending on the measurement that you find, it's going to look a little bit different. But one thing is for sure, it's very, treble extended, very bright, open, clear treble, ear gain scoop for wide sound stage, and very warm, boomy mid bass and sub bass. Very transparent, and these are really good because, well, quite frankly, they are the only true wireless earbuds. So if you're like looking at this list and you're like, this is a bunch of chi-fi, this is a bunch of wired IEMs, I want wireless headphones and earbuds. Well, here you go. This is what I use on a daily basis. The treble extension and emphasis, the clarity, the sparkle, the boomy bass, the wide soundstage. It's really fun to listen to. It's like studio monitors on the go. They image like all of this image is like, super, clear, warm, boomy. It's like you're in a room with a warm, boomy, engulfing bass going throughout the room, and then this bright, clear, articulate, detailed treble extension. You hear the entire frequency response with all of these. Again, we can kind of look at that. When we look at all these frequency responses, again, we'll see that they all extend from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. A lot of times when you look at marketing, it says 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. And these have all of the frequencies from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Everything is audible. Everything is fun, V-shaped, dynamic, clear, impactful, V-shaped, warm, boomy bass, wide sound stage, air gain, scoop, all of them. Warm, boomy bass, wide sound stage, air gain, upper mids, bright, clear, treble extension all the way through. You can't really ask for more. For critical listening, you could nitpick which one is the best, but they're all amazing. And and just for shits and giggles, I guess I will bring in the Nova, Truth Ear Nova, with foam tips, which is what this looks like. I don't like this thing because we could see it's shouty at 5.5K, 6K right here. So, there's a lot of energy in the upper mids here, and then the treble is just pulled out. So you get this kind of prominent region right here from 4, 5, 6K right here. It's very prominent, and, it's kind of like this hill that's very shouty because of the treble roll off. So that's a problem. And we can just plug in the EM6Ls and see how the EM6Ls clean that up by opening up the treble and extending it, which is really beneficial. And again, that's kind of the reason why you want a good treble extension. The Nova doesn't do that. So that's the reason why I don't recommend the Nova. It's kind of shouty and, veiled in the treble. All of these have really good treble extension all the way through. And they don't have any of that shout problem because of the treble roll-off veil. Anyway, I'll see you guys later.